Good morning, Jim from the swing here. Beautiful day. I just hope everything's going good for you. And I just was thinking about what we were talking about yesterday. How Jacob said, "I'm not gonna let you go unless you bless me." And how many, the blessings of the Lord maketh you rich and addeth no sorrow. It says, and it's a beautiful thing to live. And the blessing of the Lord is in God's favor. The favor of the Lord. I'd rather have God's favor than anything, because when you walk in His favor and He likes you, I mean, He's in control. He's in control of everything. And so if He's in control of your life, you're in good shape. One thing about this story, and I didn't point it out yesterday, but you got to realize what we're talking about here is lordship. The first thing that's happened is lordship. Is He the Lord of your life? He says, I'm not going to let you go. I want you to be the Lord of my life. You see, here's the reason I know that is because the man he was wrestling with, which was probably Christ Himself, the Lord Himself, He was wrestling with Him, and He turns to Him. And when you're holding on something and you want to get a blessing from the Lord, the first thing He's going to do is says, "What is your name?" He turned to him and He said, "What is your name?" And Jacob said, "Well, my name is Jacob." And he knew what Jacob meant, a deceiver, and he knew the kind of life he has. He said, "Well, listen, I'm going to change, because you're going to come under my authority. Your name is going to be changed. Your name is going to be from now on Israel, governed of God," meaning governed of God, Prince of God. He is going to be governed by God from this moment on. In fact, the whole nation of Israel is going to be named after this family, after what happened right here. His name was changed from deceiver to governed of God, from self-centeredness to God-centeredness. So we're talking about lordship here, where he comes under the authority of God. And it also talks about the fact that God loved him so much to pursue him. God wrestled with him. I mean, God could have walked away any time. God was God, but He had limited Himself to a man's strength, in a sense. And there's a lot of things people could do, but they don't do it. They could, but they didn't. God could have walked away from any time, but He chose not to stop wrestling with Jacob, because there was a purpose there. He wrestled with him all night, stayed with him. He was persistent, and he was patient. God is patient with us. He's patient with you. He's patient with me. He had to be patient with me, and still does every day. All of us, really, wouldn't you say? And so as He was patiently allowing Jacob to wrestle with him, he could have walked away any time, of course. But at the end of it, He said, "What's your name?" Jacob said, "I'm a deceiver." And He said, "Yeah, I recognize the fact that we all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. And the wages of that is, I know, it's death for me. Death is ahead of me unless you're my Lord, because I got Esau going to kill me." And all of us must realize the fact, what do we got ahead of us? There's one thing we cannot control. Death is ahead of all of us. But I want to be conqueror of that. And so have Him the lordship. So it talked about the fact that God was wrestling him for lordship. He changed his name and He said, "You're going to be governed of me." And then it showed the fact that Jacob was determined. Determination. What is your purpose? What is your determination? What is within you that you want more than anything else? And Paul said that I have this one thing I do. One thing I am determined to do. One thing, and that's to glorify Jesus. My whole life, I've sung for over 50 years now, and I guarantee you, to sing anything other than to sing about Jesus, there's nothing on me. It's just blah. It's just a song. But when I sing about Jesus in my heart, I have one desire, and that is to honor and to glorify Christ. And there's something about that I can't explain. But I guarantee if I had to sing without singing about Jesus, I'd rather dig a ditch. But to sing about Jesus, there is freedom. And I'm determined, when I sing a song, to honor the Lord Jesus. When we get determined, get a hold of God, and God gets a hold of you and changes your name, and you begin to glorify Him, and you understand His lordship and His loveship. Oh, it changes your whole destiny and your whole outlook on life. I want my name. I remember when my name got changed from "It's all about Jim" to "It's all about Jesus." When that happens, life begins. Wow, I'm almost on time today. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.